Hi, boys and girls. I am going to be talking to you again today about the strategy of how you figure out unknown words when you're reading. Yesterday, we looked at a fictional story and learned some unknown words. We learned about the word chameleon yesterday, and today we're going to be looking at a nonfiction text, and this book is called Goblin Sharks. And we're going to see some unknown words in here. I'm only going to read one chapter in here, but this is a book in our classroom that you can look at on your own someday. Goblin Sharks. I had never heard of Goblin Sharks before, so even that is an unknown word to me, and they look very interesting. Chapter 1 is called A Terrifying Creature. I would say so. All right. Even before I start reading this chapter, as I skim the words on the page, I see some words that are unfamiliar to me, so I'm going to do my best when I get there. In 1897, a Japanese fisherman caught an unusual creature. It was eventually taken to the United States where it was identified. No fish like it had ever been found before. The species was a shark. It was given the name, I'm going to try this, Misukurina Alstoni. I don't know if I said that right, boys and girls. But the Japanese fisherman who caught the shark gave it a more fitting nickname, Goblin Shark. More than 100 years later, divers were floating in the dark ocean. They were waiting to film the elusive Goblin Shark. Finally, the strange fish swam slowly into view. All right, I don't know if you can see, but I struggled reading some words on this page, and they're right here. Sometimes you're just going to have to try your best when you come to words like that you don't know. Those are in a different language. So sometimes when you're reading a book, you might see words in a different language other than English, and you just try your best to pronounce them. And we figured out that what they're trying to say is they're calling it a goblin shark. Okay. It looked as if it were alive when the dinosaurs lived. It had a very clumsy, flabby body. It had a pale pink color and a very long snout. I'm not really sure. I've heard of snouts before on pigs. Okay, snouts on pigs is referring to their nose, so it must be talking about the goblin shark's nose. It has a very long nose, would be another word for the snout. The shark swam away from the camera. The bizarre fish jumped into a diver's protected arm. The shark's mouth snapped open as quick as a lightning bolt. Its jaw unhinged, and what looked like a second mouth thrust forward. Are you getting a picture of this in your mind as I'm reading it? I hope you are. It looked as if another fish had sprung from inside the shark's mouth. Rows of thin, sharp teeth latched onto the diver's wetsuit. The goblin shark struggled to free itself as the camera recorded the mysterious creature. The goblin shark is one of the oddest sharks in the world. It lives in temperate waters. Temperate is not a word that I'm familiar with. We'll come back to that in a second. Goblin sharks are found in the Atlantic Ocean off the coasts of Africa, France, and Portugal. They live in the western Pacific Ocean near Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. They are also found in the Indian Ocean near South Africa and Mozambique. Recently, goblin sharks have been found living off the coast of California near San Clemente Island. All right. There's a new word on this page that I wasn't sure about, the word temperate. What do you notice about the word temperate? How does it look different from the other words around it? Can you see that the word temperate is in bold print? Do you remember what that means when we see a word in bold print in a book like this? That's right, that means it's in the back in the glossary. So I can turn to the back of the book and look up the word temperate, and it says that temperate means that it's not extremely hot or cold. So it's kind of in between, right in the middle. So if it says temperate waters is where the shark lives, that means that the shark doesn't live in cold water or hot water, it's right in between. Did you hear all the different names of places that I read on there? I'll show you again. At the very bottom of the page, it listed a lot of different places. Now, I didn't have any trouble reading any of those place names because I've read them before and I know what they say. But you might run into words sometimes that you're not sure. You know they're a name of a place because they're capitalized, but maybe you haven't seen it or heard it before. And that's another chance for you to just do the best that you can, sound it out, or you could even try asking a friend for help. Okay. All right. So did you hear as I was reading that there were a couple of places where there are words that I wasn't sure about? Okay. They have also been discovered living in the northern Gulf of Mexico, just south of the Mississippi River. Goblin sharks live in the deep, dark parts of these oceans. They swim at depths of around 130 to 4,265 feet. Much is still unknown about the goblin shark. Sightings of goblin sharks are rare. The depths at which they live may be part of the reason. Scientists and researchers continue to explore the deep ocean, hoping to learn more about goblin sharks. There's one more picture. So use this strategy as you're reading. Try sounding it out. If it's a word you're not sure about, you can look for it in the glossary or the dictionary, or you can ask someone nearby for help. Don't forget that there's going to be a lot of words that you're not going to know. Do the best you can. Always keep trying and ask for help if you need it, okay? I can't wait for you to see the rest of this book. If I have time, I'll read it to you, but if not, you can visit that book when you see it in the classroom. All right, go on and do the rest of your work today. Bye, boys and girls.